I told my aunt if I wanted her husband dead, I would have just listened to her. My uncle's face went gray, and he dropped face first into his plate at dinner. I caught him before he hit the table and lowered him to the floor, and there was no pulse. I ripped his shirt open and started chest compressions, and on the third push, I felt his ribs crack under my palms. I kept going. My grandmother stood frozen in the doorway, and I screamed at her to call 911. That's when my aunt walked in from the bathroom and saw me straddling her husband on the floor. "Get off of him!" She grabbed my arm and tried to yank me backward. "He's having a heart attack." "I'm doing CPR." She grabbed me again. "I can hear his bones breaking. Stop it." I shoved her off with my elbow. "If I stop, he'll die." "You're the one killing him." She was clawing at my back now, trying to drag me off by my shirt. "Somebody stop her. She's murdering my husband." My grandmother was still on the phone with 911, but she stepped between me and my aunt and held her back. "Let her work." My aunt screamed and fought, but my grandmother didn't move. I kept pumping my uncle's chest until the paramedics ran in and took over. They shocked him twice and rushed him out. I rode to the hospital with my grandmother, and we'd been in the waiting room for 20 minutes when my aunt found us. She sat down across from me, and her voice was pure venom. "I want you to explain to me why you attacked my husband." "I didn't attack him. I did CPR because his heart stopped." She scoffed. "I know what I saw. You were on top of him like a dog. You were even smiling." I shook my head. "I was counting compressions. You broke his ribs. I heard them snapping one by one, and you didn't even flinch." She leaned forward until her face was inches from mine. "I think you've wanted to hurt him for years. I think you finally found your excuse." My grandmother reached for her arm. She saved his life. She yanked away from my grandmother. "She assaulted him while I begged her to stop, and you held me back while she did it. You're just as guilty." She turned back to me. "If he has internal bleeding, if you collapsed his lung, I will make sure you rot in prison. I will tell every single person in this family you are a violent little psychopath who finally got to hurt someone and call it heroic." She smiled at me. "I always knew there was something broken in you, and now I have proof." We sat there for 2 more hours while she described exactly how she was going to destroy my life. The doctor finally came out, and my aunt grabbed his arm before he could speak. "I need you to document every injury she caused. I need it for the police report I'm filing tonight." The doctor looked confused. "I'm sorry? My niece assaulted my husband. She broke his ribs, and I need the damage documented." He turned to me. "You performed CPR?" I nodded. "For about 8 minutes until paramedics arrived." He turned back to my aunt. "Ma'am, if your niece hadn't started compressions immediately, your husband would have been brain dead before the ambulance arrived." My aunt shook her head. "But what about his ribs?" "Broken ribs are expected. It means she was pushing hard enough to actually circulate blood. Anything lighter would have been useless." He looked at me. "You saved his life. There is no version of tonight where he survives without exactly what you did." My aunt's face went blank, and the doctor looked at her one more time. "Your husband is awake. He's asking for you." Then he walked away. My aunt turned to me, and I could see her trying to rearrange reality in her head. "Well, you still didn't have to enjoy it so much." I stood up slowly. "While I was breaking his ribs to keep his brain alive, you were clawing my back bloody trying to make me stop. If I had listened to you, he would be in the ground right now. You almost killed your own husband because you couldn't stand there and let someone else save him." She stared at me and then walked away without a word. I never got an apology, but that's fine.